At the moment, we're negotiating a project. It's a $4 million job. He goes, if this had a 3 in front of it, 3.99999, I'd pull the trigger right now and I'd sign. I'll get the deal done. I said, okay, give me some time. I'll rework it. I'm not going to drop my margin. I'm not going to drop the percentage of money that I'm going to put on that project. However, I am going to change aspects of that project. You want a 3 in front of this? Well, you can't put the tiles that are $200 a square metre in it. You're going to have to settle for tiles that are 100. You can't put that feature cladding on. You're going to have to use this other product. You want solar? Well, you know what? We're scrapping solar altogether. We'll put the provision in for it. You can put solar panels in 2 years' time when you can afford it. Because right now, you can't afford it. So I'm not dropping my service. I'm not dropping the quality. I'm not dropping the product. I'm making the project stack for them in such a way that they can make a decision and go, yes, we're happy to do that. And I'm not dropping using inferior products. We're still going to do the job the way it needs to be done, but just so you know, we're going to make some changes here. And then you're showing them expertise. You're building trust. You're not blowing smoke up their ass, right? You're telling them what they need to hear. This isn't a $3 million job, right? If you told me, and I told them, okay, if you told me now I want to do this for 3.5, I said, the conversation's over. Thank you for your time with us. Good luck. We're out. We can't build it for that much. And not only I can't build it, if you find a builder that says, I can do this for $3.5 million, run like you're on fire. Okay? Because they will go broke.
Cutting corners.
They will go broke. Or you're not going to get the home that you're hoping. Because even though 3.5 is a lot of money, it's not this home. It's not the same product. Some people need to hear that. Because other people will be like, okay, and because then that's when you don't become the snake oil salesman, because you're willing to walk away. And you go, no, I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to know and need to hear. And that's how you build trust and rapport.
So why don't people like it?
Like which sales? It's difficult. They don't like rejection. You're probably going to get rejected more than you'll make. Depending on the product.
I've done that. I've sat there and made real estate one of the toughest jobs I've ever done. Taught me so much about behavior, humans, sales, marketing.
How good?
Sick. But tough job.
Yeah.
Rejection, dude. Like real estate was when I first went and got a coach.
Yeah.
Just because I wanted to get better. And I was like, how do I do this? The best guys have a coach. I'm going to go get a coach.
Yeah.
So I went to hired a coach. And he's like, okay, cool. We're going to do 250 calls a day. Sorry, a week. 250 calls a week.
He said for you to make?
Yeah. And we're going to do 250 calls a week. He's like, you reckon you can do that? I was like, yeah. He just set different targets. Like saying, some people only do 100. Some people do 500. We set it at 250. It's 50 dials a day.
Yeah. It's a lot of phone calls.
It's a lot of phone calls, man. It'd take you a solid 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would book my 9 to 12 every day. And
funny with that, GC says he gets his people to make 250 a day, right?
Yeah,
really hammer people.
Yeah.
And have the script down, know it off by heart.
To do 250 a day, you need 2 things. You need to be dialing nonstop. Like you need to have a dialer.
Yeah.
Like an auto dialer.
Yeah.
So when you work in a call center, they've got an auto dialer.
Yeah, cool.
So you're not calling. This thing is dialing people, and as soon as you press ready, it drops a call on you.
Yeah.
And then the details come up, and you're like, hey, is that... And you're talking to them.
Francis.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And you're like, hey, I'm calling from blah, blah, blah. Because, dude, it is like 50 calls a day. I used to smash my phone, destroy it. And I'd get rejected nonstop. And I used to just tell myself, this is cool. It's all good. If this was easy, everyone would do it. I used to have things I used to say to myself to get myself through. And I used to chase. I would call people nonstop. Even if I knew they weren't going to answer, I'd drop them a message. I'd put something in the mailbox. I would, you know what I mean? And I had that. And then it's now that lacks a bit. And it's what is it? Not in the sense, I don't mind doing the deal. I just siebes with the chase.
Yeah.
In the sense of if I speak to someone 3-4 times and now they're being difficult or they're not answering, I've just had so little that have come to light that have gone down that route that I just think, don't waste your time. Move on to the next thing. But then you hear the other thing of you need to connect 15 times before people convert and blah, blah, blah. So it's what do you do there? Okay, first question. Why do you think, I don't know if you can answer this, but why do you think I feel that way about it? because I don't mind, like if someone sat there and said, hey, there's going to be 6 people walking into this boardroom, we're sitting in a boardroom right now, 6 people walking into this boardroom right now and one after another, like you got an hour or 90 minutes with each one and you need to do a presentation and sell them, I wouldn't mind that. I'd be cool with that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. But it's so this guy hasn't answered, hasn't done anything, hasn't responded to our texts, and now I've got to continuously chase him.
Because you feel he's not qualified and you're wasting your time. You think there's probably more probability that he's not going to buy your product because you haven't had that qualification process. Because qualification is important too. If you're going in cold, and we were talking about this a little while ago at some of our events, we got a lot of people coming into a room through advertising. So they hadn't built that rapport, that trust, that following with us where they go, okay, cool, I know what George is about. I've been following him for 6 months. So it was a lot harder for them to go, okay, yeah, I'm willing to spend X amount of dollars to be in his program or to buy his next course. So I think touch points are important too, because a lot of the people I spoke to following the event, they were all like, yeah, this was great. I got so much out of it. Fantastic. I'm like, cool. Why didn't you continue? What was your roadblock? So, and that was interesting for me to hear. I had one of those conversations today. Well, why didn't you continue? If you thought it was so great and you could see what we're doing and what we're about, how come you didn't make the commitment to go that next level? One of them said, I've been to a lot of these courses in the past and, I didn't get a lot out of them. I said, yeah, but you're making a decision based off your experiences with someone else, not with me. They go, I'll give you a money back guarantee. Does that make you want to sign? Do you want to get the ticket now or later? Cash or card? And it's like, well, why aren't they committing? What's the reason why they aren't committing? Some people just can't get out of their own way. And you're right, they need to be convinced 3, 4, 5 times before they make that commitment. I've got one guy who's coming to an event of mine in a couple of weeks' time. He was following me for probably 2, 3 years. He came to our very first event last year, end of last year, bought a ticket to my 3-day course, came to my 1-day course last week. I believe that he will be the type of person that will convert on the day coming into a 12-month program because he's gone through that aspect of going, okay, I've been following George for a while now. He knows his shit. I've gone to his event. Fuck, he knows what he's talking about. He's going to spend 3 whole days with him. I'm going to blow his mind with shit. He'll be like, yeah, cool. How do I get more? Let's sign up. So maybe some people do need that. And when you call people out of the blue, random, they're not qualified, you probably feel, okay, I have to work this much harder to get them across the line maybe and show them my value. And I'm competing with 15 other blokes that they're speaking to at the moment. Am I wasting my time? So you're probably a bit demotivated before you even start the call.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting concept. What I've done to tackle it is I've now built a full sales system.
Cool.
Yeah. Like a whole system online that is trackable. Like now I can look at every single month and say, okay, cool. We had this many leads come in. We spent this much on ads. We had this much leads come in. We had this many people turn into a warm lead. This many people turn into a hot lead. This many proposals went out. This many sales. And really break down the numbers and say, okay, cool. And now I can get a person in and say, here, salesperson. Yeah, sell. There's leads coming in.
Yeah.
There's all these leads we have got going, sell. Your job is to sell. And I've created a process around what I do. I've documented everything. Because, dude, like, I feel like when I sit down with another person,
you get rapport.
I do okay. Yeah. But I just don't have it was a big wake up for me, put it that way.
Do you think it's your ability to close? Because that's a big thing too. The sales is one thing, the close is where you make the money. All right. So there's a book, Grant Cardone, if you've never read it, if you have read it, it's The Closer's Guide to Survival. Have you read that one?
No. Well, I'm going to buy it right now.
Buy it right now. Have you read his other one, Sell or Be Sold?
I've read 10X Mentor, 10X Rule.
Get Sell or Be Sold and get
I'm going to buy
Survivor's Guide to Survival. The Closer's Guide to Survival. And effectively, the Closer's Guide to Survival is like it answers, he'll go through the book and talk about closing and the importance of closing. And then he'll also handle 100 objections. So there'll be 100 objections listed in their book. And then he'll say, this is the objection, this is how I close it. This is the objection, this is how I close it. So he's got a playbook really to handle objections. And it's a cool book.
Is it a read?
Yeah, I read and listen. So
every single book?
Yeah, I get a lot more out of it. So that's a little bit of a hack for you guys. I think I learned that from Alex Hormozy as well. He says, if you want to retain, and it's so true, mind you, because I used to read books without Audible, like without audio, and then I used to listen to books without reading. And he goes, if you can do both of them, both of those two things, read and have the audio book at the same time, he goes, you retain about 60% more of the book and more of the information in that book. And it's so true. That's the only way I read now. I listen and read at the same time. Even though it might be a bit slower, because I can generally read a bit faster than what the person's talking.
When I've done it before, I don't do it for every book.
Yeah.
When I do it, I read at 2 times speed.
Yeah. I would, exactly.
Yeah,
so I would
fast.
also, that's right. So I would, for the closers, you could probably listen to Sell or Be Sold, but the closer's guide is good to read because you can actually see the objections there.
Guide. Just
the Audible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the other one? Sell or Be Sold.
Sell or Be Sold, yeah. So I mean, even for listeners at home, like do some research, learn some shit, and they're easy reads too. They're not difficult reads. But the sellers would be Seller's Guide to Survival would be good in the car for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, I'm a fan of Cardone, but
yeah, there's heaps of salespeople out there too. What's the other guy? Wolf of Wall Street guy?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of his style.
Yeah, me either.
Even Cardone's style's a bit full on.
Yeah, it is. He's very like cut like
I'm gonna
in and
sell
out. Yeah, I'm going to sell my soul. Like do it.
I'm a
Maybe
Scientologist.
Maybe he did.
Maybe he did. But yeah, it was a concept where it made me realize the level of importance behind it. And then there's a really cool guy. His name's Daniel Priestley. He owns Dent Global. Have you heard of Dent?
No.
Really cool dude. And he talks about how he goes, I've built 3 8-figure businesses, and he goes, I don't do anything in them. Not in the sense of I've done nothing. He goes, but I hire the people that do that role best. Like I don't sit there selling. I hire salespeople. Yeah. I don't sit there marketing. I hire the best marketers. I don't sit, you know what I mean? He's like, I don't do any of that. Like that's my job is to get all the right people in the room and make sure that we can deliver. And he does really high level strategy.
Was it this episode or last episode we were talking about employees and hiring good people? Whenever it was, check it out. Sort out your life.
Last one?
Last one. Go listen to both of them. Listen to the last one, then come back and listen to this one again.
And then
we're talking about employing. We're talking about employing really good people to fulfill a role in your business.
Incompetence.
Same thing.
You were talking about incompetence before.
Can't remember. We talk about so much.
But yeah, I think sales is underrated, man. I think it is underrated a lot. And
yeah, you don't think of it as your core thing to do day to day, especially with how much most people have to do in their business, whether you're in the building game or whether you're in the florist game. There's so much to do day-to-day operations that you don't necessarily put time aside and go, cool, I need to sell today.
I think every business should have a salesperson.
Yeah, interesting.
Every single business.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Should have a person dedicated to sales.
Yeah.
And if you're not generating enough leads.
Yes.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
Dude, and the mentor I was telling you about who showed me this, his next question was, how much time a week do you dedicate to sales? And I was like, I don't really dedicate any time. Like if there's, you know what I mean? There's opportunities there, I'll follow it up. But I don't have a 2 hours, like with real estate, I was 3 hours a day on the phones, 3 hours a day, 9 to 12. You know what I mean? I'd come in at 8, do my emails and stuff, admin for an hour. And then from 9, I was straight on the phone, go lock myself in a room when it comes to lunchtime.
Yeah.
And I don't have that now. Now I do.
Yeah.
But I didn't have that. And I was like, cool, that's a very good eye-opening thing, because he picked out what it was that was stopping me from taking that. Like we did get to this point, and then how do I get to the...
And that's the whole purpose of a mentor, isn't it? You know what I mean? Because you can be often so entrenched in what you're doing that you need someone to go, oi,
yeah, this
snap
is
out of it.
Dude, he picked it like that.
Yeah.
He's like, no.
That's
He's
the
like,
ability of a
dude,
good
and he
mentor.
looked at me and he's like, I know what you're doing, 1 second. He goes getting a call. He's like, 1 second, I know exactly what's wrong. And I was sitting there thinking, you don't know.
You got no idea. You're Googling it.
Yeah,
you're Googling it right now. You're asking Siri.
He knows just like that.
Yeah.
And then he knew.
Yeah.
And he blew me away. All right, so for people doing this, if they want to get good at sales.
Educate, role play, practice.
What's the key? So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click just over here. Or if you want to watch the full episode, you can click over here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.